Hey, what's up everybody and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to talk about the cannabis stock market in Canada. So a lot of you guys are asking, is it too late to invest? I just read it in the news and I saw they're increasing by such large numbers that is so amazing. And a lot of you guys want to start investing in the cannabis stocks. So let's take a look if it's actually too late to invest in the cannabis stock market. So the first thing you want to look at before you actually start investing is when is actual legalization coming up. So legalization is going to be in July this year, so 2018, Canada will legalize cannabis as recreational use in the whole country. So this will mean that the demand for the product will definitely go up, and that is the reason behind why all the stocks are going so viral and why they are increasing so rapidly in price. So what we have to do first is actually look at the demand for the products. When this actually gets legalized recreationally to the population of Canada, we have to know, is this going to actually be selling? How high is the demand? And will the stocks crash as soon as all the cannabis companies release their statements on how much they actually sold? So that is what we want to take a look at. Is the demand actually there? The accounting firm Deloitte came up with a headline grab figure of 22.6 billion a year for the Canadian pot industry. That would mean every adult in the country spending nearly $800 annually on weed and related products, and would be more than the total annual retail booze sales, beer, wine and spirits combined. A senior economist at CEBC World Markets extrapolated from Keller's sales figures to come up with a 10 billion estimate of the Canadian demand for legal cannabis, and predicted provincial and federal governments could rake in $5 billion per year in tax revenue. More cautious analysts are trying to rein in the expectations, projecting that Canadians will actually spend less on marijuana than they do on footwear, $7.4 billion last year, according to statistics in Canada. I don't think the numbers are that high, said Chris Damas, editor of the BMC Report, at a stock market newsletter. Many people who write about cannabis have vested interest in promoting the industry. So as you can tell, the actual conversation and the actual demand and expectations, they are so different depending on who you ask. So some people think it will be 22 billion, which I really don't think will happen, at least not as of right now. And some people have come up with a figure around the $7 billion a year. What is the actual number is going to be? No one could really tell. But what we can tell as of right now is how many people are actually talking about cannabis. If you're listening to rap music, if you're following a lot of different artists, most artists and, so to speak, mainstream people and popular people, so influencers, actually do use cannabis. And what will this mean for the cannabis market? If you look at Wiz Khalifa, for example, he is actually making his own brand around cannabis. So he actually has his own cannabis company. And I think this will be something that actually will be the new way of making money. Instead of artists actually making their own beer companies or wine companies and spirits companies, we will actually probably see all of these artists transfer and start making cannabis companies. And cannabis really is a popular topic as of right now. When you just go on Facebook or any kind of social media, a lot of people are posting about it, a lot of people are posting about memes and stuff like that. And this is just not people I follow. This is big pages like 9gag and all these different big pages actually have big followings, actually have the conversation around cannabis and marijuana. So when looking forward to the recreational demand, I think it will actually be higher than some people are expecting, but it could also be a lot lower than some people are expecting. I don't think it will be 22 billion, but it definitely will be around 10 billion a year. And it's not really only going to be Canadians smoking pot. So when Canada actually will make cannabis legal and recreational, think of how many tourists will actually come to the country. I think this will be a new attraction for the country, and a lot of people interested in this drug are actually going to go on vacation in the country to consume marijuana. Since the drug is illegal in many countries around the world, this will definitely drive a lot more tourists to the country, and this will most likely drive up all the sales. And we cannot only look at the Canadian market. A lot of these Canadian companies and Canadian stocks are actually trying to move their companies to other countries around the world. They are trying to make international brands. They are trying to market their products and really try to get partners around in Europe especially, but also in the USA. So if USA actually start going towards recreational cannabis in the USA, we will probably see that a lot of Canadian companies will actually start moving their industries and also partnering up with companies in USA as well. Already a lot of these Canadian companies are actually trying to find partners in Europe. So we will definitely see an expanding market, since these companies will not only depend on the Canadian demand. So what we have to think about is the Canadian demand will probably be a lot higher than people think, but probably a lot lower than 22 billion. We will also have to think about the increase in tourists in the country. We will also have to think about that all the Canadian stocks will actually start expanding to Europe and USA and try to get more partners around the world. So sales will still increase, even though if this Canadian marijuana market will actually stand kind of still for a couple of years, we will probably see a lot more countries around the world legalizing in the upcoming years. And this will mean that these Canadian companies already have the required technology and the greenhouses, and they have their products. What they only have to do is send their product to these countries. So there are 4 different demands as of right now, and it will definitely grow over the years. If you look at Colorado, for example, they really underestimated how much the cannabis companies in Colorado would actually produce in revenue. This is a good example to look at, because they actually just a few years back legalized recreational cannabis. This is kind of an example you can look at and really compare when looking at the Canadian market. And the crazy thing is, some news articles are actually talking about Canada might actually not have enough cannabis to supply the demand. And what does this mean? If the supply is lower than the demand, the prices will go up on cannabis. And if the prices go up because the demand is too high and the supply is too low, the Canadian stocks will go up, definitely. We will also see a price increase on per gram on cannabis, and this will definitely mean that revenue will go up. So when looking forward as of right now, there really is a bright future for the cannabis stocks. I will keep investing towards legalization, and then I might sell. But please, do your own research and invest in stocks that you actually believe in. I'm actually a part of a different cannabis related stocks Facebook groups, and these people really talk about penny stocks, and they are promoting or at least posting about stocks that when I look at their websites and when I look at their financials, these companies will probably not succeed. So I think a lot of people are actually investing in stocks related to cannabis just because they see the hype and they really just want to make a lot of money. So what I recommend you to do is always do your research and only invest the money you can afford to lose. It's not really a secure investment. I think the demand is definitely there, but some of the stocks are really overpriced. You can actually go on the wave and sell before it crashes, but that is really risky. The stocks I'm investing in the cannabis market is Aurora Cannabis and Canopy Growth Corp. So these are the 2 companies I'm investing in. I'm looking for some new stocks looking forward, and I have some I'm planning to invest in. Saniva is one of them, which looks really promising, and it just got released on the stock market on 9th of January. I will see if I will invest in that. It actually has gone up a lot in price, so it might be a risky move as right now. I think I might wait until it actually goes down a bit, because a lot of short sellers will definitely sell off soon. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you feel like it, please go down and like, and make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will make sure to answer it. And also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. See you guys next time.